All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. All right, so hope you're having a good weekend. I'm going to get right to the topic here on this one. This is all about what to buy in this environment. What should I be using my liquid cash that I have available to purchase on eBay, Facebook groups, TCG Player, whatever, right? Let's go right into it. Now, first off, I've heard a lot of messages regarding, well, you know, Dan, the last video you said was Rudy's this big shark and he's all his capital and, you know, I can't compete with that. I can't beat him. You're right. You're probably right. He has more capital than you, that part, but you can outwork him. Let me explain to you. As you have more money, you have bigger deals that you end up doing. And there's lots of smaller deals that are left for, you know, some people said, well, hey, you know, I'm a minnow and shark and Rudy's a shark and you're a shark and you're bigger. And, you know, I don't know if I'm a shark, but whatever analogy you want to use. Rudy, bigger companies, right? They have more money. You probably have, you know, let's say under 5K liquid right now, maybe under 2K. I don't know, something like that, right? But that doesn't mean anything. You can outwork us. You can outwork Rudy. You can outwork anybody if you actually build a portfolio, build a business out of this. You make the effort to sell and buy and trade and, you know, really build a brand. I mean, you can market yourself as a reliable seller on eBay, on TCG Player, whatever you need to do, you can do it. So those are just all excuses. I'm doing my best Gary V impression. That's fucking bullshit. Your biggest excuse right now is the one you're telling me right now. Start. You have no excuse right now. There's absolutely no excuse. There's nothing to do. I chopped all this wood like 10 minutes ago. I didn't even break a sweat at all. But that's my point. You have all this time right now to outwork everybody else. Do it now. If you have capital, start selling stuff. I watched one of Gary V's Instagrams, live Instagram vlogs. He said, list something on Facebook Live, like Facebook Marketplace, like 5 items, and just do it. I mean, you have no excuse. Clean out your freaking garage, whatever, sell something, work on your people skills, negotiation skills, whatever the hell it is, and start developing your business mind. All right, with that said, let's talk about buying what magic cards to buy. Because when you buy something, you're going to have to outwork and outmaneuver other people. Now, you have to do it in a professional way, but you have to be the best communicative. You have to be ready, liquid-wise. And you have to also, this is very important, find items, find collections that are not bad. Inked up, stolen, reback cards, whatever, right? Those are all like things. So if you don't understand what magic cards should look like, what they should feel like, what they should smell like, whatever, then you shouldn't be in the marketplace. Do the research first. That's the first step. Assuming all that stuff, I want you to look at all the venues. eBay, TCG Player, vendors, Facebook groups, Facebook Marketplace, whatever. Goodwill auctions. I'm not sure what they're running at right now, but there's places you can look at. Because the thing I'm thinking about here is that even though this coronavirus thing has gotten what it is, it's basically changed the landscape and the way we do business. But there's always room to make money if you find a way. Now, there's a lot of competition though. Everybody's at home. Think about this. Everybody is at home, sitting by their computer, watching the computer tick down a certain level. Like basically, okay, this auction's ending here. This thing's here. I'm watching this, all right? I'm getting involved in this. I'm bidding on this on Facebook. So you need to be extra. I said extra a lot of times. Involved. Don't sit around. The deals are there. If you look for deals, look for people that need the money. You strike a deal, pay them, get the product. You can flip it, make more money. Now, People have asked me, what do I buy specifically? I'll answer that in a second. And how do I actually find these deals? Okay, all right. Number one, finding deals. I just named these venues. Finding deals requires you to search the keywords, to go after and look at the right groups on Facebook, to go on eBay and search what are the no reserve listings, right? Not just what are buy it nows, but no reserves. You can do both. You know how on eBay you can select buy now, no reserve, whatever. Lowest price, you can do highest price, whatever you want. It's also finding people, collections that have words like lot, like a lot, right? Or collection. But you know, those are usually titled incorrectly, or there might be a bunch of different alpha cards and they might not be titled correctly. You look for listings that have a lot of pictures, but they don't really know what they have there. They didn't list out each item, but you can see in the pictures a lot of different value cards. So it requires you to work and look at each listing and then watch them and put them on, I don't know, get a whiteboard and be like, dude, this thing ends on this date and I need to look at this and be there to bid. Now, the next step is bidding. If you're on eBay, for example, being able to win the auction requires you to outbid someone and not just bidding the next increment. When I bid on something that I really like, and I'll do a video on this later on, it's fine, I'll show you how I bid on stuff. I bid on stuff small in the beginning, and then I go ahead and go, bid higher later on. And that's okay. That's okay. That strategy works for me. I sometimes bid bigger sometimes on items that I really like. Depends how much time I have, right? So you need to figure out where exactly is your bidding metric. You're sometimes going to have to bid higher, way higher than you actually wanted to. And that is okay. Keep that in mind. So if you're bidding on eBay, you have to start bidding more aggressively. You have to, if it's something that you really want, right? Maybe you want to rank them like 1 through 10. Like this collection is a 10. I got to bid higher, right? Be aggressive. You could bid last minute, but you got to make sure you have a great connection online. You got to make sure that, the gods don't turn off your internet. There's fucking flies everywhere. There's rain here. Remember that. You have to have logistics figured out. That's why sometimes I bid a certain price and then I'm ready to go if the internet fails or something, right? I have 2 computers, or I have a phone and I have a computer ready to go if I really want that item. And I've done that with artwork, different things that I really wanted. And I want to make sure that I have internet access. It sounds stupid, but it's true. Now remember, if you have a lot of people bidding against you, the price that you're bidding probably may get outbid, and that's okay. But you got to see the value in it. You probably should come up with a price, like a price. Don't spend a lot of time, for me, I don't spend a lot of time breaking down every item in a picture. I look at the key cards and look at the retail value, where I'm at, where the ballpark range is. If I see a collection, I'm going to be like, hey, there's an Alpha Soul Ring here. There's a Beta Soul Ring here. There's a Demonic Tutor. There's a Dual Land, Revised Dual Land. There's a Homelands box, Fallen Empires box, right? If that's the baseline of the value. But you notice that if you have a collection, let's say of Power 9, and let's say the collection is hundreds of thousands of dollars, are you going to sit there and add up Homeland boxes or Fallen Empires boxes, stuff like that, as part of your calculation? Probably not, because it's a waste of time. Because the scheme of the collection, the bigger picture of the collection, is the Power 9, right? So the other, yes, they're important, but they're kind of like that, okay, that's nice to have, that's profit, right? That you can look at as a retail seller. All right. Let's jump right into now what I would be buying in this crazy market. All right, so if you keep watching this video, now we're going to get to the second part of the topic, what to buy. Now, this is pretty juicy because pretty much I'm going to tell you the right answer for me is I'm going to buy everything I can. That has good value. Go back to my other videos. I keep saying about value. Value is, in card collecting, investing, is condition. Quality and condition are a little bit different. I will also talk about what are some of the other things you're getting, right? Like extra stuff. You might get like extra boxes or extra Magic memorabilia, stuff like that, throw-ins, right? I also would consider, like, is there a risk to resell? Now, this is kind of hard because right now it's kind of weird. You have all these collections that are happening, but which collections are the quickest to resell for a profit, and what kind of profit, and which collections are worth keeping long term and holding on and making even more money in the future? You're probably wondering, well, why would I want to hold this stuff long term right now, Daniel? It's kind of crazy right now. I want to sell. See, the problem with that is you're not going to find a lot of deals that way right now. If you sell them, you probably may get a flip, but chances are, the economy right now of Magic is going to decline before it goes back up. Right now, that is. Right now, at the filming of this video. It's not a bull market where back in 2000, 2017, 2018, things were rising. Prices were skyrocketing. When you bought something, it would go up next week or whatever, next day. It could be sold for a premium right after, like a profit instantly. But that's not the way it always works. So you need to understand that there's going to be long-term holds right now, and you're going to have to hold them for a while. With that said, that doesn't mean you can't flip some cards, some boxes, whatever, to get profit. So some of the things, like I said in the very beginning, I'm buying everything. What does that mean for someone that has, let's say you have like under 2K. Let's say you have under 2K, under 5K, under 10K type of thing. Okay, let's get some scenarios. Under $2,000 of buying power. Okay, under $2,000. You're not buying no Power 9, buddy. Because one Power 9 is pretty much your entire budget. Power 9 is just is a long-term hold. I would buy under 2K are collections on eBay. It might be people on Facebook where they basically have lots. They have like a bunch of alpha cards or beta cards or maybe some unlimited rares that went down quite a bit during, you have to do some research. I'm not going to go over every number, specific cards, but buy lots. Arabian cards, antiquities cards. I buy older cards, older playables that are much lower. Like Mistress Factories have gone down quite a bit. Different playables have gone down, right? And during this time, they're all on sale. You can find deals quite a bit in various condition values all the time. So remember, that is a good buy for under 2K. I don't know. You might get some revised dual lands in the mix. You might get some Badlands, Savannas, maybe a Bayou. I don't know. It all depends on what collection, right? You might get, so I would think a 2K buying price, you should probably target 3 to 4K sale value right now in today's marketplace. Seriously, right now. Next price range is 5K. 5K is a little interesting. That gives you more room to play with the dual lands. You might even buy some like higher end, like some more alpha rares. Those are gone down. Alpha rares, I remember Alpha Nightmares were going for $1,000 at one point. And now I just sold a near mint to mint one for like $600. I think that was graded at 8.5. A BGS 8.5. So think about that. For $5,000 budget, you could look at it as, man, I could have some as long-term holds, some as short-term sales, right? Remember though, if you start buying singleton cards, graded cards, or higher-end cards, you will tend to have to hold those longer. You're not going to be able to flip them unless you have a network of buyers that will already buy them. And I'll talk about that in the very end, is developing your network of buyers, because I talked about earlier in the video. But that's very important, because all this doesn't matter if you aren't actually outworking people and developing a marketing strategy to then sell the cards. All right, so $5,000 value, I probably buy, I haven't seen a sealed product. Have you noticed? I'm not really a fan of sealed product right now, because sealed product takes forever to sell in general, and it's a long-term hold. Sealed product is always a long-term hold. If you buy a revised booster box, you will get it cheaper than you will before. However, it will be a longer-term hold. I think at the peak of everything, things were going for almost like 10K. 10K or something. I don't know, some ridiculous number. Like a bug on me. Jesus, oh, freaking force. Jesus. All right, God. Okay. All right, so that's my point, is that in this time that's happening, sealed boxes are tough. They're a tough buy. There's room to make money. If you think about it, all comparative to buy nows, whatever, there's room to make money. However, I would be careful because those are long-term holds. And your budget at 5K, I wouldn't even touch it right now. I would focus, again, on a little bit larger collections, bigger price points, than the 2K, right? Your 5K investment could potentially make you 10K to even 5K, 5 to 10K profit right now. Yeah, I know you're probably thinking like, where the F am I getting that? Value. There are collections that are gradable. There are collections that are gradable. There are collections that in the collection, there might be cars that are, wow, these are really minty. I can send them off and get graded. Now, the grading companies are all closed. That's the problem right now. But long term, months down the road, you can grade them and make even exponential profit. Again, I'm not claiming here that you're going to make big profit up front. You may be able to flip a little bit here and there, but that's never going to make you the most money. See, the real wealth that's built in Magic is long-term hold, slow and steady wins the race. I know Rudy says it. I agree with him on this. Slow and steady wins the race. You want to build up collection base, not always be forced to sell, right? You want to have liquidity, cash, but you also have the power of all your collections and the lower entry costs because you've never had to sell. You sell at the times when you want to, when the growth happens, right? And that's the power of it all. Now, all right, so let's talk about now the 10,000 plus range. Some of you may have 30, 40, 50, $100,000. I talked to a guy last night, actually on Skype, from Australia who wanted to buy Power 9. Power 9. He wanted to buy Beta, Unlimited, doesn't matter what it is, in near mint condition. Thinking about BGS 8s, 8.5s, some of them. I told the guy, look, if you got that kind of budget to buy Unlimited and Beta, I just buy nicer Beta. Or if buy Alpha, but you probably can't afford the Alpha. He said, yeah, I probably can't do the Alpha thing right now. So I would say in a larger value collection, like a larger value price point, 10,000 is a big difference from 100,000, right? But I would say at that 10K mark, you can make 20, 30K in this market if you buy the right cards. Seriously. Cash is king. There are people who are distressed and they need to sell their cards. Hold on a second.
Vintage Magic. Game. Collect. Invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.
All right, back to it. So my son might come over here and say hi. All right, so here's the deal. The very important thing to understand is that if you have larger cash flow, it doesn't mean you're just going to buy whatever the hell you want. You have more power, actually. You have more room to negotiate. You're more of the Rudy-esque levels, right? You're able to compete with larger deals. So understand that you have to leverage the cash in the correct manner. Don't just go off and buy whatever it is. Want to say hi, Nick? Hi, Nick. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Name is Yes.
You love me?
Yeah.
I love you. You eat breakfast? Okay.
Bucket.
Go eat breakfast. Okay, I'll come there in 5 minutes, okay? Tell Mama.
5 minutes.
5 minutes. So tell Daddy come back 5 minutes. Okay.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. So Nick is 3.5, a little bit, so we'll have a good time.
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Okay. So yeah, back to it. Understand?
5 minutes.
5 minutes. 3 minutes. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
5, okay. So understand this, is that right now in today's marketplace, if you have more cash, it actually presents a more difficult thing because you're having to compete with people with more money. And people with more money, it's like a poker game, right? They could always outbid you and pay more. But why would they do that? Why would an auction that's only worth, let's say an auction that's at 10 grand, okay? And let's say the potential profit is, 3,000. So it's $13,000 value. Why would someone pay $12,000? Why would someone even pay $13,000 for a collection, right? Here's why. It's called what I call taking away the competition, buying your way out of the competition, buying them out. So in poker, right, you can shove and you have more chips than they do, and you can, that presents a tobacco because you have your short stack. That's your tournament life, let's say, right? So you have to make a decision based off that. And you may not have a great hand. So the reality is, when you are having bigger fish in the pond, right, in terms of buying collections of Magic, you have a hard time competing, even though you have 10K or 50K, whatever. There's people that have millions of dollars. I'm sure Rudy has millions of dollars laying around the basement, just ready to buy your reserve list cards at 20 cents to the dollar. Millions of pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters. It doesn't matter. He has so much money right now, he's just wanting to spend. And he'll also give you shipping labels. Shipping labels. All BS aside, seriously, guys, when you're competing against larger type of bidders, right, you need to understand that this idea of outworking them and stuff, yeah, you could find deals. But the way you do that is build a brand and reputation that is reliable, that overpays. You're going to have to overpay to some of these guys. And that's the only way it's going to work. All right, so back to let's say you go to the higher level like this guy with the power 9 and the, stuff like that. My feeling is this. If you're interested in buying power 9 and higher end dual lands, I don't know what you're waiting for. This is the time. On my eBay store, I have some 9.5 beta moxes and blue power, and I have some dual lands, whatever, right? They're all lower than the 2018, 19, whatever marks, right? 2017, as they're rising, it doesn't matter. There's so many deals you can get right now. If you're looking at a deal, take a chance, right? Not even a chance. Think about the investment. You could have bought them for double the price or time and a half before. Now they're all on discount, right? So think about it long term. And if you're interested in doing any of those items on eBay, off eBay, we can do a transaction between you and I. I can save you some money too because the PayPal fees and all that, some of the eBay fees. So you can negotiate that. Now, be careful. Do not ask on eBay to take an item off eBay because eBay will actually monitor that and kick you off eBay. You can't do it like that. You have to contact me on email, right? Or vintagemagic.com. Go to contact us. But understand, there's ways to research. This is about outworking and out researching everything and connecting with everybody else. Lastly, I will say that this is an opportunity for you to buy little rarities. Not for you to buy stuff in your collection. You could buy some misprints, some, some miscut cards, summer magic, whatever, right? Cards that are on discount. Things that, are kind of oddball to add into a portfolio. We're talking about investment here. I'm not saying put stuff in your commander deck stuff. I'm saying stuff you can invest in and put that on your eBay store or your TCG player store, whatever, later on and build a portfolio. All right, let's jump here in a second about how to attract buyers and how to become one. All right, guys, welcome back. So here's the final part of this video. I talked earlier about, we're going to buy all this stuff. Doesn't matter if you're the 2,000, the 5,000 under, or 10,000 under, or 2,000 or higher, right? Range. Doesn't matter what you're buying. You have to find deals. The underlying theme here in this entire conversation today is you need to outpace your opponents. You have to be able to out-communicate. You have to out-brand. You have to out-service. Give better service. And how do you do that? A lot of people wonder, man, I got all this free time. Why don't I start a business? You're right. This is an opportunity. You're realizing that your day job right now, this is interesting. As an entrepreneur myself, I value my freedom more than anything than the money. I value the time, my passion, spending time with others. I'm willing to give my time. I'm willing to pick up the phone and call you right now. If you want to call me and you want me to talk to you, I'm willing to talk to entrepreneurs in the magic industry and help them during this time. And I'll do a separate video about that. If anybody wants to talk to me, I'm happy to talk to them about the business plans. Because here's the reality. Is that you are in a weird time in your life. You work your job, let's say. Most people working a job they have to go into. You might be furloughed right now. You'll be out of work. You might be having filed unemployment. Why would I start a business? Why would I take a risk? Because that's the best time. You see what I'm saying? It's the best time because you, right now, are under the gun. You may have a family, you may have kids, you might have whatever, right? You have debt. It doesn't matter. Why would that be a good time to start a business? Because you are under the gun. This is your time to shine. Some of the best businesses that I've ever seen and talked about with people around the world are started because they had very little to start out. That's right. I lost my job. I didn't go to college. I dropped out. Look at a guy named Mark Zuckerberg. Oh, how about Bill Gates? I mean, these guys, maybe they had some help and resources, go to some good colleges, but they didn't do exactly what the college said. They may have got a PhD here or whatever, but a guy named Richard Garfield created a game called Magic the Gathering, but he got a PhD, and I think he worked for Boeing or something. But he didn't do that. He became a game designer, and he invented a game called Magic the Gathering. See, the best times to buy and do and invest is when times are tough too. It's every time. Doesn't matter, times are good. I actually think the times to buy are better. The times to invest in yourself are now. So how do you compete with that? How do you make yourself a brand? Well, that's a whole nother topic, but I will tell you a couple of hints while you're doing this. As you're buying stuff, as you're developing a base for Magic, remember, always communicate in a way where you are trusted. You're able to basically sell something, receive the product, you're out there. And especially at the beginning, you're not even able to get any kind of feedback. Ask people, hey, how was your experience, right? Start a website. Another thing to do is you can start a website right now. A lot of cheaper template, nice websites that you can go to GoDaddy and buy a URL, whatever, and you can start a website. Build a website out, have the products that you're buying, the collections that we're talking about that you're going to be making money on, and establish your brand. Why not establish? It doesn't cost that much money. That small investment will actually turn out to be a great return long run. Okay? Another thing to look at that I'll leave you with here is very important, is do what you're going to say. A lot of people in this world, especially when they sell cards or do stuff, in any business, they say it's this condition, but it wasn't really this condition. They say they're going to pack it this way, but they packed it shitty, right? They didn't give enough pictures, whatever, right? If a buyer, you'll have one chance. It's true in the restaurant business. It's true in every business. You have one chance with a customer. If you give them great service, you ship the stuff out, great product, great communication, they're going to keep coming back. And you can pick up the phone, start becoming friends with them, and starting a business. And that's how I built my business. Some of you out there want to troll on me and hate on me and think, well, no one does business with Daniel. Everybody hates him. No, that's not true. Obviously, that's not true. Obviously, if you look at my almost 5,000 plus unique feedback, transactions doing decades, really. Look at the transaction sizes I do. Thousands of dollars, tens of thousands of dollars. I mean, people trust me for the high-end stuff. And also, I've sold low-end stuff too. But they know that I'm going to sell it, on time. I'm going to ship it on time. I'm going to give them the right packaging and give them the right product. And that's important. You have to build that relationship. There are people who have sent me hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not almost close to millions of dollars of cards in the mail without me signing a contract. I don't advise that at all, but I only would say that's because of the trust, if that makes sense. People would wire me money up front and they get nothing until years down the road, until I meet you in whatever vacation or whatever Grand Prix Magic Fest. I've done that many times in my life. It's like it's what I call my white glove service, right? So remember, how do you get to that point? You have to work for it. You can't just sit there today on a Sunday and just watch this video and down click and not do anything. Now is your time for action. What are you going to do about it? I want to hear in the comments below what you're going to do to change. Oh, and side note, for those of you who are concerned about the Black Lotus, fake Black Lotus thing, what was Daniel Chang involved? I will have a video this week. No, I was never involved. I appraised the Black Lotus. The time when I got the Black Lotus at the time, it was a counterfeit card, and that was it. I appraised the card, and that was it. And the situation, I think eBay resolved it, and I don't really know what's going on. Now with this Corona thing, it's even more of a mess. So watch for that video this week for those of you who are trolling the crap out of me. But no, I was not part of it. I was just paid to appraise the card, and it sucks for the seller, and it sucks for the buyer in the sense that I don't really know what's happening. I don't want to get involved. I'm not involved. So I'll leave it at that. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you everyone for joining me. It's me, Daniel, with VintageMagic.com. I'm excited to share more about our appraisal services. All right, so the first step of the appraisal process is determining if your items are authentic. After determining that the items are authentic, we will then do a market evaluation of your items. So oftentimes clients ask me, hey Dan, I want to insure my collectibles. Well, after the authenticity and evaluation part of the appraisal process, I would then construct an official letter and we would send that off to the insurance company. Your insurance provider would then offer you insurance based on the evaluations and authenticity. We also offer pre-grading services. So collectors who are looking to save money on grading can go through us. We will actually grade and authenticate the cards before you send it off to grading, and that will save you potentially thousands of dollars on grading fees. Also, we offer estate collection services. So basically, if you've acquired a collection over the years, either from a family member or yourself, and you want to pass it down to your kids, we're able to determine valuations based on the levels of today.
Vintage Magic. Game, collect, invest. For more information about our consulting and professional services, visit vintagemagic.com.